The foot's this big bag of bones, and between each one of the bones there's a joint capsule, a series of ligaments, a series of muscles. There's muscles and tendons in the foot itself, and then you've got these big muscles kind of in the calf and the lower leg that are running down into the foot with these long tendons as well. Now, when we're kind of barefoot, we can use all of those joints, all of those muscles, all of those ligaments. They're all kind of playing a role in the way we move our foot. When we've got a conventional shoe on, it kind of reduces it just to this kind of ankle joint. So there's an issue there already. Not only are we kind of losing a lot with the foot, but we're putting a lot of extra strain on one joint. These muscles that we kind of have in the bottom of the foot, they don't work on their own. They work as part of chains of muscles that go all the way up the rest of the body. So if you're not engaging the muscles here, it's affecting the way the muscles are engaging in the calf, in the thigh, in the bum, in the back, all the way up the chain. You know, the body kind of doesn't work as one bit and you've got an issue here. If there's an issue here, it's part of a problem with the whole thing, and that's kind of what osteopathy is. There's two main arches that we focus on with the feet. There's this kind of medial longitudinal arch that comes along here, then what we call the transverse arch, which is another arch kind of sort of underneath the balls of the toes there. Now, those arches are maintained by muscles holding them up and giving them stability. When we kind of put our foot down, they sort of absorb the shock of the foot going down and then recycle it. So not all of the energy is coming from muscular action, it's coming from sort of an elasticity sort of springing back as well. Like any muscle, if we don't use it, it gets weaker. If you kind of have any kind of support in there for an extended period of time, now you get people that wear normal shoes that don't get dropped arches, but the longer you do it, the less exercise those muscles are getting, and so the more likely you are to start to kind of see this sort of dropping through the arch. When that arch drops, you're not getting kind of that springing through the foot, so you're not absorbing shock, so the shock's going to be going more through the ankle, through the knee, and shock going up through the body. You also kind of get like a stretchy, pulley sort of constant sort of tension going through the tissues at the bottom of the foot, which kind of irritates those and can cause other conditions as well. Plantar fasciitis and heel spurs and all sorts of different things that can happen when these tissues at the bottom of the foot are overstressed. If you think of the foot kind of being the foundation, everything else above it is depending on kind of this nice stable base underneath it. If we change any of the legs of that tripod, then it changes everything that's resting on top of it. When we come away from sort of using kind of the foot in that way, we tend to kind of rely more on the heel, so we do what's called a heel strike. Now, this is a bony bit. There are sort of soft tissues around it that can cushion it a little bit as well, but because that hurts, shoes have kind of gradually been developed to kind of have more and more of a cushion on the bottom to protect this bony bit and stop it from hurting. The problem with that is where you kind of build that up, it's lifting the foot at a different angle, so you're kind of getting a change in the angle of the tripod. Where that's kind of changing the centre of gravity in the body, if you imagine the heel coming up, that person has to sort of lean forwards, and because they're leaning forwards so they don't fall over, they kind of arch back, pivot back kind of through the rest of their body. That means that, again, you're kind of having extra strain through the knees, a different angle of impact going through the hips. You're having to get a greater arch through the lower back, your pelvis tilts as well. So it kind of really knocks on through the body. And I mean, you can get kind of, you know, people with sort of arch problems can get headaches from it just because, you know, all the way up to the top, it changes the way that the head's sitting on the neck. The reason why I wear Vibram FiveFingers is that it's the closest thing that you get to being barefoot. You get kind of different types of them that are thicker or thinner on the bottom, but whatever style of FiveFingers that you're wearing, they've always kind of got that freedom of movement in the toes, that sensation of the ground when you're walking in them, and kind of that little sort of, you know, hop and skip in your feet kind of when you go to start running in them that kind of you don't get kind of with another type of shoe.